Hi, this is Summer with Summer's Tips and Stitches, and this is a yarn chat video. I know I've been gone off camera for quite a while. I think the last video I posted was on the 14th, and that is where I announced the winners of my crochet along. If you are unable, because of my horrible editing skills, to see all the pictures of the gnomes that were made, I did put a link to where they are posted in my Facebook group. Please bear in mind that there are questions in regard to joining the Facebook group, and that I would like everybody who joins to be respectful and kind and thoughtful of others. Okay, let's see here. What have I been doing? Since the last 2 weeks, I think Valentine's Day came right before I had just off of a weekend where I had 2 teacher in-services and a basketball tournament. So we had an in-service on Friday, Jared had a tournament on Saturday, then there was an in-service Monday, and then Jared had a basketball game Tuesday. It was just like hectic. During that time, I made 2 more pocket shawls. This is my very well-worn pattern from Herrschners. I think you can still buy this off of the Herrschners site. I will look and do my best to find a link because I thought I had lost this pattern. As you can see, it is not doing well. And I was like, well, do I have to order another one? So I'll look to see if I can find it. And if I can't, I'll put down, I can't find the link. I made 2 of those for a coworker. I actually made 2 quite a while ago. They were for the same coworker's sisters for Christmas. I made one in a blue pinky color with some cookie yarn, and then I made one with what I like to call a peacock color. It's kind of green and purplish and tealish. And he wanted 2 more in the exact same colors. It turns out that I was very close to running out of yarn on those. 1.5 skeins. I would say it's probably like 1 in like 70% of another skein. So I was low. For the pink and blue, I just made it a little more narrow. I like took an inch off it. And then for the pockets, I had to use something from my stash. I was hoping to find it right here, but I guess I put it away. And I had done a mixture of some of the other yarn that was left, which was very little, and that mixture to make the pockets. And then when it came to the one that was in the peacocky colors, pink, purple, teal, and green, I had some other cookie yarn in a different colorway that still had that like greenish color in it. So I kind of like used a little bit of that with it. Like I'd pull out a bunch of the green, cut it, crochet with it. It was a tough go, but I got both of them done. Praise the Lord. And I got them to my coworker, and that, I would say I was working on that for a good amount of time. I can't remember. Like I was working on them when I came home from school, and then that 4-day weekend, just after Valentine's Day, I was working on them consistently. Then in the last video that I was talking to you about, I was talking about this pattern that I had found, the sock hat, or the SockHead Hat. And I had gotten my new Chaigu interchangeable knitting needle set. Now, as many of you know, I prefer crochet. Crochet is what I like. I'm good at it. I understand it. Knitting is a challenge for me. And so far, I've only really I wouldn't say conquered. But I have been most successful with knitting hats. I had one over here that I had finished with some yarn that I had gotten from Knitcrate a while ago. And I use this mostly with a worsted weight. This is actually kind of a thinner worsted weight hat. So when I followed Ross's pattern, this hat got a little small, most likely to fit Flynn. And some of you had asked when I was making hats for my 2nd graders, I follow the Ross pattern for the setup with the worsted weight, with how many stitches, the ribbing. And then when it comes to this part here before the decrease, Ross, I think his hat calls for 8 inches from brim to before decrease. But when I'm making it for a kid, I only do like 5.5, 6 inches. So I just take a few of those inches, then I do the decrease, and it works just fine. If you have somebody with a big head, maybe do 8 to 9 inches, right? So that's what I use. And Ross has his hat on Ravelry, but I also found that if you type in to a Google search, the knitting the Ross hat, he has his own pattern online. I'll put a link in the description to Ross's pattern. So I tried this new sock hat. Now, the problem is up till now, I've been using these knitting needles to make my worsted weight hat. The Addy Turbos in this Knitter's Pride little 9-inch thing, because I'm not very good at DPNs. They slip out, it's a disaster. I have a hard enough time managing 2 needles because crochet is just the one hook. You throw a whole bunch of DPNs in there and I don't know how to do it. So when I was working with my Chai-Goo and it calls for a 16-inch, I made a big mistake. And you'll see in that last video, I took two 8-inch cables because I thought the 16-inch cable is what it says. Many of you corrected me in the comments and said that I don't need a 16-inch cable because when they're measuring knitting needles, I wish I had one to show you off the top here. Maybe I have these, the little Knitters one. They are counting the inches, not just on the cable, but it's from end to end, which I think is a big piece of information that should be released, possibly on the packaging. Because when you say a 16-inch cable, a non-knitter thinks 16-inch cable, not 16-inch needle to needle. So I've learned a lesson. I pulled out my hat, I frogged it, I got started, and I measured just to be sure that my needles with the circular that I chose came to, it's actually a little hair over 16 because of the size of the needles from Chai-Goo. But I have it on a smaller knitting needle now. And actually my hat is going quite well, the SockHead hat. It was looking kind of weird when I was just doing the ribbing, and I have made a couple mistakes on the ribbing. The ribbing was knit 2, purl 2, and there's a few sections like right here where I have knit 3, purl 2. Just the way life is, it just happened that way. And I wasn't going to frog it out because I can't fix knitting mistakes. And once I realized it, I was like, well, let's just go with it. It's so small you can't see. And then this is a big fold up. I have just started the decrease. In fact, I'm on my 3rd round of decrease where I'm going to knit 4, knit 2 together. So I've been working on that. But the kind of exciting thing is I didn't have anything to, once you get to a certain spot on your decrease, and they're not going to fit all on that cable, I'm going to have to either move to a smaller cable or DPNs. And I'm already on the smallest cable that comes with this Chai-Goo set. So I had bought these Knit Picks double pointed needles set. And I bought them off of Amazon. Knit Picks has a marketplace through Amazon. And I want to say they were like less than $7 for these. And there's these tiny little metal DPNs. I'm not completely thrilled because like I told you before, I'm very nervous about using them. One, these are very slippery, and if you even tilt your hand a little bit, those suckers slide right out. And you got all those live loops sticking up. So I went to my favorite local yarn shop, which isn't very local, but close enough, in Neenah. And I had to get a birthday present for another fellow yarn lover. And I thought, well, I'll just check out the knitting needles because my favorite are those Addy Turbos. I really love them. I like the Chai-Goo, but I just don't feel like I love it like I love that Addy Turbo. But everybody I know who's a professional knitter told me to get the Chai-Goos, so I did. But anyway, I saw, lo and behold, on her wall, these little tiny ones. I was like, yes. Now, she says a lot of people use these for socks. I'm going to open this up for you guys. These were $10.50. I had searched many times through my Amazon to find these on Amazon. I could not. But here it is. A tiny little cable and little tiny ends. So now I can finish my hat, my SockHead hat, the way that I want to with these little needles. I am so very excited. I dropped the packaging on the floor and I'm not going to bend over to pick it up for you guys. So that is what I've been working on. I finished those 2 pocket shawls. I need to laminate, I think, my pattern so that I don't ruin it beyond use. And I am almost ready to start using these with my decrease on my sock head. Now I can hopefully look through the past videos just to find you the link to this. If you have a lot of stock yarn and you want to try to make a hat with it, and then the yarn I'm using, I had a link in the description of the previous video. I can put a link in that for you as well. It's a private yarn company. It's not like a big company one. It's some wonderful person out there dyeing their own yarn. Okay, so that's pretty much all I've been working on. Yes, now I have gotten some things in the mail. I should say acquisitions. Isn't that what Debbie, the Canadian crocheter, says? I did get, I want to say this is box 32 from Crochet Society. I believe she's opened it. I don't even know if I opened it because I was waiting. Oh, I have not, because I was waiting to share it with you. As you all know, I'm addicted to Crochet Society. I love everything about Sarah Jane and her colors and the things that she puts together for her yarn. I love them. Ooh, okay, let's take a look. Whoa. So there is some Hibiscus Chunky. I like the chunky yarn that Bella Coco buys or uses or whatever she's putting her name on. These are the 2 colors. Not necessarily my go-to colors, but they do look good together. A nice like chocolatey. I wonder if that's what they called it. Hilo, H-I-L-O, and Hawi. That can't be English. H-A-W-I. Okay, so those are her 2 colors. And here is a crochet hook guide, I'm guessing, to find out what size your hook is. A diamond stitch marker. A nice big thick hook, 6.5. A little water bottle. A hot water bottle. Let's read what she wants us to make with these. Looks like a hat on the cover. Put this on the floor. I worked on cleaning up my little crafty corner and I took all of my yarn out of my Bella Coco boxes and I started putting it away. It looks nice. I like it. Okay, so here's the hat. It looks very much like the Christmas blanket she had us do with little trees on it. What's that called? Mosaic crochet. I bet you that's what it is. Okay, so Allison Holloway is the designer in her tea and chat. There she is. Okay, I'm not going to go through and read it right now. Here is a coffee bean cushion. I'm not a fan of making pillows, or as they say in England, cushions, because what I found is a few years ago, I was on a big kick. I made a lot of them, asked my family, and I stuffed them pretty well. But as your family uses them, now if they just sit on the couch, you should be fine. But if you have a family, children especially, that throw them, sit on them, hug them, squeeze them, prop them up, beat each other with them, the stuffing gets packed down, and then you have a very loose crochet shell with a very lumpy, lumpy middle. So I'm guessing until my kids grow up and they don't use the pillows as weapons, I am not going to be crocheting any more pillows, because basically you then have to either figure out how to carefully open up your crochet and restuff, which I'm going to be honest, when I finish off, I do a very thorough job and it was very difficult. And I ended up having to just throw a whole pillow away. because I couldn't get into it. It was sad. But anyway, if you do not have children who weaponize your pillows, this is a good decision for you. Your coffee bean pillow. Cushion. Oh, and on the other side, this is what it looks like. That's nice. Not my color for couches. Well, actually it is. Here are some free cozy crochet patterns that she's got out there on, I'm assuming, her website. Yes. Oh no, craftworld.com. Then here's all the wonderful things inside of the box. And see, look at, they're sticking your hook inside that hole. And then you can see that it's a 6.5. And it is a hot, says B, oh no. Wait a minute. I missed something. This is in there. Be magnetic. Keep all your notions in hand with this magnetic case. So here's a magnetic case for yours. And it is a warm up your hands for crochet with this adorable mini hot water bottle. Maybe that's a British thing. I don't know. I live in a tundra and I've never really done much with hot water bottles. But anyway. Here are some super soft yarns. This is one thing that I really love about Bella Coco is you get your 2 skeins unless you want to go to her past box shop and try to buy a whole bunch more and then get all the excess goodies. She does list different yarns that you can use that are comparable. So I do like that. Yeah, so that is nice. Then here is this coffee and cream beanie. Keep toasty when popping out for your morning coffee with this stylish beanie. Now, as I was right, Zoe Potrak, if you say her name, I don't know. Sorry, Zoe. She was one of the designers, or I believe, for this blanket back there. And you have this tree mosaic pattern in there. Let me just pull this out and show you. So like right through there. Do you see that? And I think you've got, where's the other section where the trees looked a little, well, you can't tell so well with the color combo, but that blue and gray, you can see that little blue tree on the gray background. And then over here was a dark green background and a light green tree. See that? And that's what's in that hat. I don't know. To me, I think that's going to be a real thick hat. It's going to be a real warm hat. And then Sarah Jane says, how can you crochet on the high street be so cheap? Tells us more about the true cost of high street crochet. Well, I'll have to look at that because I have no idea what high street crochet is, let alone how expensive it is. So I'll have to look that up. And then here are some pictures of crochet that people, well, maybe not. There are more patterns she's showing you of things she's made. And then here's a hot water bottle cover in brown, a little one and a big one. So if you don't like the case on that one. And then what else is in her little book? Here are people's makes with her patterns in the past. There it is. And I think that's about it. And here's the next one that's coming out, which I have seen on Facebook that the European friends are getting already, which means I have at least 2 or 3 weeks. It's the end of February. And I wish that it said right on the side of the box, box number 30. They used to do that because otherwise I get real forgetful. This one is a theme of diamonds. And I wish it said, does it say it in the front cover? I don't know. I'm guessing this is 32 because just this morning I saw that box 33. Okay, so let's see. The last thing I have, and I feel I'm actually considering ending my Yarnier. I have a Yarnier. The last one I got, I gave out as a giveaway in the month of December. This is my January Yarnier. And I got this little basket in here. It's cute. a little misshapen. It's suffered in transporting. I'm not quite sure what this is yet. It's a little leather heart that you can, I'm thinking maybe hold needles. I don't know. I'll put that in the basket. A button. And then here's the yarn, which I'm going to be honest, I really like this color. It's kind of a creamy with a pinkish orange brown look to it. Throw this on the floor. And it is a cowl. Large necked faced people, in my personal opinion, myself, do not look very good in a cowl. When you are a thin trim person, I think the cowl looks better on her. Do you see that? She's got, if that were on me, look how much more neck and face I have than her. All right. But that's what she has you. She has usually she has a knit one and then a similar patterned crochet. My favorite cowl of all times, which I will put a link in the description to, is Laurel's Big Buttoned Cowl. I did a craft show once. This is the one, the knit one, or the crochet one that comes in the pattern. It looks kind of like a shirt collar. It might be a nice idea to figure out how you could turn that into a sweater. And here is the designer, I'm sure, wearing it. She's got her hook in her hand. Look at her. Laurel's Big Button Cowl is my favorite. Hands down. I made it, and it was my #1 seller at a craft show one year. It was a while ago. I haven't done a craft show in a long time because I feel like you spend a lot of time making stuff and you never for sure know what the big seller is going to be. And you want to have a wide variety of stuff. And at that craft show was the Laurel's Big Button Cowl. I sold all that I had made and one crochet picture. I don't know if you guys know that. A long time ago, I made a bunch of flowers, glued them onto a piece of canvas, and then painted a scene around it. Somebody bought that for their daughter who was having a baby. And I was like, oh, sorry, I shook everyone. But anyway, this is the yarn. It is Taki yarns, maybe. Taki yarns. If it's English, that's how. 57% wool, 43% polyacrylic, and the color 2001. What a great name. You know, listen to me all fussy like that. Half the time I make fun of the name they choose, and then when they put a number, I'm like, you couldn't choose a name? Can't please me, can you? This is Gunnason yarn. So I don't know what I'll make with it. I don't see the yards on here. Oh, 100 grams, 185 yards. So not enough to make Laurel's Big Button Cowl. Probably just a hat. I actually have a hat in mind I just thought of right now. But that's all I've been doing. Hopefully I'll be a little bit more regular. I finished those, I don't know. I guess I'm just in a overwhelmed state with work, children, YouTube, projects, all that. Right now, all I feel like doing is knitting hats, and those take me 100 years. So it's not very easy to keep up to date on YouTube videos when I've been working on the same hat for a week. You know what I mean? Whereas crochet, I'm usually a little bit quicker, and I can make something a bit quicker and have more for you. And I really need to stop buying yarn. So, yeah. But anyway, I'll put a link in the description to all this stuff that I've said. I don't even remember all of it now. I'll have to watch the video and put some links in there. And then, yeah, that is all for this video. Thanks for watching and subscribing. Thanks for liking and sharing my videos. And until the next video, happy crafting. Bye.